Naive realism is a cognitive bias. It's a tendency for us to believe that we see the world in an objective and unbiased way. Because of this phenomenon, we're often convinced that the way we perceive the world is how other people perceive it. However, if for whatever reason other people's interpretation of the world differs from ours, then there must be something wrong with them. And it is our job to fix it by explaining to them why the way they see the world is incorrect. Often in such situations, we think that the reason why others see the world differently is because, unlike us, they haven't spent enough time thinking about the idea at hand. Or, unlike us, they haven't done enough research about the subject. Or perhaps they researched the wrong information, or they're simply misinformed. Alternatively, we might think that they're either not intelligent enough to understand, or that they're simply ignorant. Whatever the justification we come up with, it assumes that other people simply see the world incorrectly rather than differently. Throughout our lifetime, we change our opinions and views many times, and every time that happens, the story we tell ourselves is that before we saw the world incorrectly, but now finally we arrived at the correct understanding, and now finally we see the world in an objective way. The reason why this happens is because, just like with other biases, it is pretty easy to spot them in others. However, when it comes to ourselves, we suffer from a bias blind spot that makes it very difficult for us to notice and recognize them when it comes to ourselves. The biggest problem with naive realism is that it makes us see the world in a very unilateral way, which certainly helps when it comes to decision making, but without incorporating views of others. Our viewpoint is often oversimplified. Naive realism causes us to ignore things like different life experiences, different culture, different upbringing, different education levels, socioeconomic background, or political views. All of these factors affect our decision-making, and it's interesting how we always argue that these factors led us to our current understanding, but when it comes to other people, we rarely take these factors into account, and we quickly jump to conclusions as to why their worldview is incorrect. Not only that, naive realism is also causing us to ignore and reject contradicting opinions, which often leads us to miss opportunities to either change or expand our worldview. So you might ask, with all this information, is there anything at all that we could do to mitigate negative impact of naive realism on the way we see the world and the way we interact with others? According to the research, there's not much we can do in terms of our immediate views. However, interpretation and expression of our views are very malleable. Armed with understanding what naive realism is, over time, with little effort and situational awareness, we can overcome its negative impact. The main benefit of overcoming naive realism is gaining new ability to perceive the world in a different light, which is a tremendous skill to have. Being able to put yourself in shoes of someone else and see the world from their perspective will help you to become more empathetic and less judgmental, which will ultimately lead to better quality relationships with others, and especially with those who hold different opinions and views than yourself. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. If you're interested in how our mind works, including other biases, you may like either that video or that one. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.